Okay, from last assignment we create a speaker, right? One thing that I want you to know and make sure you can do it very well about the workflow of the shortcut, how you can extrude, scale, edit edge, split edge in Lightwave very well. Okay, now please look at my screen first because I just want to recap everything before we going to the new topic. I mostly start with Shift X and drag over the top view to create a box like this. You can control and drag to make sure it would be a cube. You can use up and down arrow to change the segment. Sometimes it's faster than trying to open the numeric viewport, the numeric window here. Okay, let's look at how can we edit the edge. Mostly when we talk about edit the edge, it means either you slide or move the edge, or you want to add the edge. Talk about add and delete edge first. If you just want to select and cut something, suppose I want to cut polygon here, I mostly use the slice tool in multiply, and there it is in subdivide. It has a group of many knife tools like Shift K for knife, slice or connect, or even the Bandsaw Pro. Starting with connect or L, you press L one time, it cut in the middle in the polygon loop. But the good thing about this shortcut is you can press L again without select or deselect. It cut more and more. Sometimes it's faster. You just select some polygon and press L. You can cut like this. It's not always straight line. So L will be your friend. Second, you can use Bandsaw Pro in the subdivide group. You have to open the numeric key. Now let's take a look. Bandsaw, they can enable divide. Yeah, sure. You can edit the current orange line, like change value. It's not that interactive, but it's fine. Like 90%, and then you got this line up to 90% of height. You can add more. Suppose I want to add another cut down here. I add and edit to 10%. You can use some other command like uniform, mirror, or reverse to make sure that you have the cut line or the loop like what you want. And the most newest tool that just add in Lightwave or recent version is here inside the detail tab and edit edge. Edit edge will be something that you may use more and more. But since it has no shortcut, I would like to introduce how to edit the shortcut for Lightwave to you. The command that you can edit shortcut in Lightwave is alternate F9. Now look at this. Actually, it's very easy. First, you have to find the shortcut command on the left side and then assign them to the free slot here on the right side. Okay, let's see. I'm starting with search. I'm searching for command like edit edges. In your command, in your menu, it has space bar. But when you're searching for the command, you didn't have to use a space bar like edit and space and edges. We have to delete space bar between the words. Search, okay, you got edit edge, or you can find some words inside the long range of words here. Okay, I want to assign to alternate E. In Mac, it should be option E. Now you got it match here. Select on the left, select on the right side, and then you press assign. Now you got option E or alternate E for edit edges command. I also want to add more command. Let's see. Alternate C for slice and thicken. Sorry. Thicken for alternate edge. Now I got 3 new commands: slice, edit edge, and thicken. Okay, let's talk about edit edge. Alternate E. If I use left click or left drag, I can change or slide the current edge without selection. I can slide any edge I want. It has an orange dot to highlight what will be changed. If I want to cut, I can right click. Now I got the edge. I can use right click and hold the right mouse to drag and release where I want. Make it faster. This is about edit edge. Okay. In Blender, if you want to delete some edge, it looks very clumsy because you have to dissolve edge loop. Then you have to dissolve the vertex again. In Lightwave, you just select edge and press delete key. That's simple. So that's just delete. About slice. Okay. Slice command, it will be something like knife, but you can cut where you want. Click it here, here. This is about slice tool. Then press spacebar. This is where you cut in slice. So if you want to cut straight line, you can use knife tool, Shift K. Oops, sorry. Okay, starting with Shift K to cut like a straight line. If you want to cut like what you want, like here, like this, use slice tool. If you want to cut straight line, some surface, you use connect or L key. And I will undo, and if I want to subdivide all over the model, or actually only some portion like what you selected, we still have some basic command like subdivide or shift D. Shift D is very useful. Sometimes you don't even notice about this command. Shift D, and then it has most two commands that you have to use, like faceted and metaform. Starting with faceted. When you press Shift D and faceted, it just subdivide every polygon by 2 times 4. But the funny thing about this is it can be randomized. The option called fractal. Like you want to subdivide a flat plane and you want to make it crumble, maybe 50%. Here it is. Shift D, crumble again. And you press tab, you got this. Very basic command, but it's useful. And sometimes you have a subdivision model that you press tab key like this, and you just want a polygon version without subdivision. I mean, to freeze the model, like you press apply button in Blender to make sure the subsurface apply and freeze it. In shortcut, the shortcut in Lightwave it's called Control D. Then you got this. Now you didn't have to press tab anymore because it's so smooth. Now let me introduce you one thing. The difference between Lightwave subdivision and older software subdivision. In subdivision term, if you add subdivision level as maybe 1, how many polygons will you get from 1 polygon? 4, right? Like this. Here it is. 1 polygon will be subdivided to 4. That's mostly we have in every software. But when you increase to 2 or 3 in Blender, it means from 1 polygon will become 4, then will become 16 and 64 because it's multiply the result. This is what we have in Blender. In Lightwave, it has 2 modes about subdivision model: subpatch, the default one, and Catmull Clark. I will show you what the difference, and I think many of you have problem about subpatch subdivision. Okay, starting with subpatch, I shift D, then that's 4, right? If I press tab key and Control D, the number is very strange. 1 polygon will become 9. Why? When you press Option or O command in Lightwave Modeler, here it is. It has subpatch division to 3 and Catmull Clark level to 3. Okay, we're starting with subpatch first. Why you have to learn about this thing? If you set something wrong, your model or your scene cannot render because of too many polygons. It will be more gigabytes of RAM that you want to set up. So that's what you have to know. Starting with subpatch to 3. In Lightwave, it means 3 by 3. It's not multiply the result of the previous polygons. If you set subpatch division to 6, it means 36. 6 by 6. This is what Lightwave think, and it's much different from many software. So if you think you want many smooth model in Lightwave, you have to think in higher number compared to Blender. That maybe 3 or 4 is more than enough. With Lightwave, you may have to 9 by 9. Okay, I press tab key again. Now I change my subpatch subdivision method to Catmull Clark. Now look at the difference. It will become 64 like in Blender. The number is much different. Level 3, but it has 64 polygon as a result. The same way that you have in Blender, because in Blender it uses Catmull Clark subdivision. The same method, the same equation. So that's why the Lightwave Catmull Clark model, it was subdivision in the same way like Blender. So be careful about number of polygons that you want in the result. Okay, that's the first thing about Catmull Clark and subpatch. If you want to ask me only one question, what should I use? I can say Catmull Clark. But in some command or some plugin, they can use with Catmull Clark. Okay, the most different thing, because we can use more than 4 polygon, or pentagon or hexagon in subdivision like subpatch. Let's recap what you create. Okay, starting with this, with website, extrude, there's L, shift H, sorry. Okay, when I press tab key, I have no problem. Now, take a look. Problem from some of you. Some of you didn't even use a tab key for subdivision to make it smooth. So I'm not sure why not. Like this model, it has nothing wrong, but let me see. Some model, it's not. What is this straight line? Other line, other edge is smooth and curvy, but this one is straight. One example. Let's see. Here it is. The line here at the bottom, and some small one here. The problem is when you use subdivision, and you have like this, there are 12 point polygons, and you use subpatch. When you press tab key, it got some error because they say only faces with 3 or 4 vertices can be converted to subpatches. Now, looks strange. Here it is. The same line, the same problem that some of you got. If you want to change, very easy. Press tab key again, change to Cat Move Clock, tab, done. Notice the topmost face is different. It looks like star, but the old one that you got problem look like this. It looked like circle, but actually it's not subdivide. And if you move it up, it looked like sharp curve here. You shouldn't get this. Okay, now change to Camel Clock. Everything done. Hope you understand more about Camel Clock and subpatch subdivision. And I would like to recap if you forget about why we have to cut edge and what's about smoothing like this. When you have polygon object like this and you want to make it more crease in the edge, here the green edge, you want to make it crease, but it shouldn't be like very sharp. When you press tab, sometimes it's not enough. The way to make it more crease is like to add more edge and keep it close together with the current edge you want, like this. This is the main edge. So if I want to make this edge crease, I have to edit edge, alternate E, right click, slide it up. Now it's closed, right? And then I add more edge from other side, make it close. Press spacebar. Now it crease. The bottom edge is different. Here the top one, the bottom one. The bottom one has only a few number of edges, so that's why it's smooth. And the top one is crease because it has more edge and keep it closer. This fundamental will help you a lot, and you have to practice it. So please make sure that you follow this video, and if you have questions, ask me. Okay, first video is finished.